What does Spider-Man have to do with James Bond? How did Spider-Man save James Bond? Right, let's do this for the talk. Right, Derek.
I'm assuming it's Spider-Man. This is the Sam Raimi movies.
How did Spider-Man save James Bond, Derek? Well, I'm going to tell you.
What, give me a... How did Spider-Man save James Bond? Is it something to do with Sony? No.
Yes.
Is it to do with Sony?
Uh-huh.
Right. So obviously Sony is the big name behind this movie. Obviously they've got the Sony Ericssons, they've got the Sony Vaio laptops. Sony owned the rights to Spider-Man and more specifically made the early 2000s movies, Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 at this time. I don't think Spider-Man 3 came out until 2007. The James Bond year. How it saved James Bond, I don't know. Did they fund the majority of this to have their product placement?
Close, not really. No.
Was Spider-Man in this movie?
Tobey Maguire is Le Chiffre.
Go on, tell me.
Okay, so let's go back in history. Back to 90.
Gather round, children. Gather round.
That old man's talking. Right. So in 1985, Marvel was having some financial difficulties and decided to sell off the rights to Spider-Man. They sell the rights to MGM.
Oh.
MGM has the rights to Spider-Man. MGM also have James Bond.
This was the 70s?
80s, late 80s.
With what money? They were so in debt for Moonraker.
So they give the rights to MGM. Then, in the early 90s, somebody from MGM, an executive, leaves and goes to Sony.
Right.
Okay? And he has the rights to the Kevin McClory version of James Bond.
No, wait. Go back. So... So, this one individual...
Yes.
What do you mean has the rights? What, like a document?
Yeah, he has the whatever the agreements are.
This isn't like Tig. Who owns it? Like,
so Columbia, which is Sony.
This is Columbia TriStar.
Uh-huh.
Thing. Right. Okay.
The executive leaves MGM and goes to Sony with the rights to the Kevin McClory Thunderball. Right. And MGM have bought Spider-Man.
Right.
So they both decide we'll start making alternate universes. So Sony were going to build a James Bond universe.
Around Thunderball?
Yep, to annoy MGM. And MGM were going to create Spider-Man movies to annoy Sony.
Right.
So in the late 90s, both studios were like, this is a silly idea. They're going to bankrupt us and we're going to bankrupt them with our two heavyweight IPs. So in the late 90s, they have a gentleman's handshake and swap rights.
What were Sony possibly going to do with James Bond?
They had the rights to Spectre, Thunderball, Never Say Never Again.
Oh yeah, because that hadn't run out at that point, had it?
So they agree in 1999 to not swap rights, but stop themselves from making the films. So basically Sony was like, right, we'll not make an alternate Bond film if you give us the rights to Spider-Man. So MGM gives them the rights to Spider-Man.
That's why they're then able to make it in the early 2000s.
To do the Raimi films. And 2000, MGM end up getting the rights to the Kevin McClory stuff, which is why they
do nothing with them for a while.
Why they can do Spectre in the end.
Just one guy left.
Yeah, he's swapped companies.
How can you can't?
I don't know how it works.
You can't just take a folder and say, "Oh, this is mine now."
But no, he had all the knowledge and the IP and stuff, so he took it to his new company. He's like, right, okay, I know that we can do this.
Right. All right.
So in the end, Spider-Man got to where he should be, and James Bond was never stolen.